Podketeers.
Imagine being at a music festival and you're listening to like rave and house music and stuff, and all of a sudden you hear like
and then there's the part
exactly
that
what it sounded
goes
like.
yeah, that part.
The cheat is grounded. I told you not to have light switch raves. So imagine being at a festival and the DJ that's playing pulls out music from Super Mario Brothers and drops like this massive mix, has a huge drop to it. It's a great mix. And then you find out that it's a priest from the area that's mixing this. It's like, I forgot his name's like Padre something, DJ Padre something.
DJ Padre something.
I don't know. Let me see if I can quickly find his name. I thought I had a
Padre Guilherme, Guilherme.
Is that who it is?
I think so. Yep, Portuguese DJ priest.
Talk about being blessed.
Interesting.
The Lord told me to lay down some sick beats.
Oh, but it was actually the Mario beat, but it was so good.
The Lord has spoken.
The Lord has spoken. And on the
That
seventh
must
day,
party.
the Lord said, "Stompeth the Goomba." Oh, man.
On the seventh day, the Lord said, "Let's get turnt."
On the seventh day, the Lord put his shades on and play me some Sandstorm. Hey, Andrew.
What'd I do?
Happy 100 Quizneyland episodes.
Oh, yeah, we just did that.
We did that.
It just happened.
It did. For those of you that have not...
Like, literally yesterday.
Well, from the recording
we
of this
recorded
episode,
it yesterday.
but not from the releases.
Yes, no, not
correct.
It's like 3 days ago.
Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that by the time this episode releases, it'll be up in all the podcast apps. So make sure that you go check it out
at some point.
It will be up on YouTube. Hopefully. Around the same time that this episode is up as well.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll show up sometime.
That's the goal, at least. Because we did record a video version, just like we have with the previous megasodes for Quizneyland. And I think we have a megasode coming up as well.
In like 2 months or something like that.
Wow.
I think it's like the first week of November.
I'm going to have to start getting more questions.
It's not that close. I'm not prepared for that.
It's almost close.
Same.
How? I mean, I think. So here's how I think the whole thing went. I mentioned this at the end of the Quizneyland episode. I think that one, you were super brave to put yourself out there, and like really like allow us to ask you some questions. Because thank you to everyone that sent us some questions.
Oh yeah,
because they were fantastic.
They were good.
They were really challenging. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't know. There was we learned quite a bit, I think, as part of this episode. So we gave away a shirt to our MVP, who sent in like 8 questions.
Yes,
which was awesome. Overall, how do you think you did? Like, how do you feel about it? Like, now that we're like a day or so removed from the recording.
I feel fine about it. You know, I'm glad I did not get every single one of them wrong, which I was prepared to do. So I got there's a few that I knew, and some I was able to guess, and some I had quite a few number of hints, but was still able to get.
What hints? What are you talking about?
No hints.
There were no hints, especially not from me.
No.
Nothing revealing, especially when it came to the tiles on the on Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like that. But yeah, so I feel pretty good about it. I'm sure we'll do this again at another big, maybe 150 or something. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see.
It'll be fun.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
So again, thank you to everybody that sent in questions. Super fun episode. Go check it out. Let's see. I remember I told you I've had a lot of stuff to print out recently, doing some stuff for the pediatrics department, and I have a couple of commissions for the first time, which I thought was kind of fun. And, you know, it's been... I think you both know, because we talk about it off podcast, you know, not being able to go to the parks, especially not as frequently as I used to go. You know, I used to go 3 times a week sometimes, right? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, you know, I was in the park 12 to 15 times a month at times. And for all of that to just kind of come to an abrupt stop has been challenging, to say the least. And so a lot of my 3D printing, which has kind of become like my hobby now, has allowed me to print, you know, a lot of different Disney like themed items. It's allowed me to make cool stuff for all of you, stuff that I can give away to the FGP Squad. And then I was kind of joking with one of my coworkers, and there's an animated GIF of the 10th Doctor just crying in the rain from like one of the episodes of Doctor Who. And I sent my coworker that GIF, and I said, I don't miss the parks. I don't miss the parks. I don't miss the parks at all. And it's just the Doctor just crying in the rain. And then I sent a picture of what I've been recently working on, and I said, also me. Because this is my latest 3D print.
That is beautiful.
Pumpkin. If you're just listening, it's the Mickey pumpkin at the end of Main Street, the double-sided one with the winky face.
With the winky face. This has been... It's been one of the more challenging prints and one of the longest prints that I've done so far. But I also was able to get my hands on an airbrush and try to airbrush for the first time. It's not as bright as I wanted it to be. It's also kind of dark in here, so you can't really see it. But I know both of you, when I showed this to you, like, you said that the orange is good. It looks pumpkin-y. But my goal ultimately is to put it up on the shelf. Because remember, you said, Mel, I should like recycle the shelf and like cycle it through the different seasons. I love that idea. And so I want it up here, but it's too dark, and I don't know if that's just the lack of light. I could do that, but I also feel like if it was slightly a brighter orange, that even in this darkness, it would show up a little bit more. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
It came out really good.
I'm not going to put it any closer to the camera, because then you'll see some of the blemishes and some of the places I really screwed up. But I could tell you one thing: this is not AI art.
Right.
So we'll talk about that in a moment, because there was a really fun story that came out at Dragon Con that Mel sent us about that. But so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. I'm trying to decide if I want to make another one to just practice again, or to have it available to like auction off, or to like give it away to the FGP Squad, or do like what we're doing with the Indiana Jones planters to raise money for Walk for Hope for Cancer research, which is coming up in a couple of months. But I don't know. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think I should do with this if you're watching on YouTube, or if you have an opportunity to see the post, or if I send you a picture. I'll post a picture on Discord as well.
There we
so
go.
People can see what it looks like.
They're going to love it.
We'll figure out what to do with this, or if I'm going to make another one to give away or something. Just know it's not perfect. It's got... I will show you, like, inside the eyeballs, I can't really airbrush. I'm not that talented. Can you see... Can you, like...
I just see a winking Mickey, and that makes me happy.
Looks great from here.
You know what? I'm just don't look at it in person. Keep looking at it through the camera.
Okay, we'll do that.
Always look through your phone through the camera. It'll look fantastic. All right, so this Dragon Con thing, Mel, why don't you tell us what happened? Because this is kind of one of those stories where it's like, yes!
It's a really good story. Like, artists, you're gonna love it. So over the weekend, it was on September 1st, I believe, at DragonCon, there was a story of a booth that was being taken down. They found somebody who was supposed to be a vendor, like an artist alley kind of thing, and they found all sorts of AI generated images. I ain't gonna call it art. No, this was like someone decided to just get copyrighted images and call it art and try to make money off of it, which we already know that's a no-no because they're copyrighted images. And there was no human touch to it, nothing. And so to see that DragonCon went ahead, found the booth, I'm sure they went ahead and they found, people saw it, reported it, and the officials came down, had the cops called. They had to take down their booth, and at the end, you saw at the table little cards, placards, post-it notes saying, artist was removed for selling AI slop, hashtag art by humans only, and all sorts of stuff. Because that, if you're not familiar, if you're not aware, there's been like not a fight, but the whole AI generated art, I can't even, I struggle even saying that. It's not. That's my stance on it. But it's just horrible for many reasons. It's just horrible. So to see it become, on someone's vending table, it's horrible. And, ethically, you're not supposed to do that, because everybody else is bringing like handmade art, traditional art, even if they make art 3D printed, like, because you make your own stuff. You just want that human element. That's part of it. That's part of the whole process. So that happens, and the next day, I find out that GalaxyCon also puts a picture, like a graphic, saying that AI art is. It's
I have it in front of me if you want me to read the exact message. I'll bring it up right now. Here, let's bring it up. So it says, important AI art policy update directly from GalaxyCon. It says, AI generated art ban. GalaxyCon has instituted a ban on all AI generated art from all of our shows effective immediately. This ban applies to artists, exhibitors, and guests at all of our shows, including GalaxyCon, Nightmare Weekend, Animate, and Superstar Comic-Con conventions. We have updated our terms and conditions in all of our exhibitor forms for anyone exhibiting at our shows with a zero tolerance policy towards AI generated art.
Yep. And then it gets even better. So there's like some momentum. I've never heard of this convention. It's MagFest. It's in the Midwest. It's music and gaming, I believe. And they put out a statement saying that they are not accepting anything like that, which is great. I mean, we've been dealing with this situation since 2020 maybe-ish, I want to say. Sometime during the pandemic it happened, and it's good to see like these conventions just start putting their foot down against it, because it's just wrong unless you use it as a tool on your own art that you've created. That's a whole different thing. But chances are that's not the case,
I mean, it's so the idea, like you mentioned it earlier, like with the 3D printing stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not selling anything, right? Like, I don't have an Etsy shop or anything like that, but even, like, I kept thinking about it because I've watched a lot of videos of other creators, other artists, like, a lot of creators that make a lot of handmade stuff because they knit it, they create it, like, they do a lot of stuff like you do with resin, and they model it, and then they make, like, molds and stuff like that. And I've seen a lot of videos that they, like, especially on YouTube and on TikTok, where they say that anytime somebody makes a 3D printed object, that it's not art, that it's not like handmade, that it's not, it's not something that should be allowed to be sold at, at these conventions or like at art walks and, stuff like that. And to a certain extent, I agree with that, to be honest with you. I think there's a time and place for it. Right. Especially considering that one of the primary things that people tend to print out a lot are these little flexi dragons and flexi animals, because the files are really easy to get and they don't take long to print, and you can print like 10 of them at once and then sell them for $4 or $5 a piece, right? Mm-hmm. But I think back like on something like this did take me long to print. I think in total it took like close to 19 hours to print this.
Right.
And that's not even like with the proper amount of infill to hold the structure. Like, this is really light compared to what it should have ended up being. But then at the end, I sanded it. I spent time primering it and then sanding it again, and then I did all sorts of prep work with like an X-Acto knife to like get some of the grooves to look really good, because there was like defects, there was layer lines that I was trying to get rid of. There was like a lot of work, like on top of the almost 20 hours of printing. I probably invested in the finishing and painting of this another 25 hours.
That's the difference in 3D printing. If you're just, because I've seen people print off of just the filament and don't even put anything after, like they just print
and that's why
it.
I think I agree, right? And that
right.
if you're just printing and you're just dropping and selling what it is, that's where I do think I do have some issues with like people calling it handmade and then selling it at these types of marketplaces and stuff.
Right.
But when I look at how much time and effort I put into the stuff that I make, like I really invest a lot of time in it. So I think there's some handmade element to it, right? Mm-hmm. So these AI things, I'm glad that you can't just generate AI art, print it out, and then just go sell it anymore. Because there are companies, like we've talked about how Disney's been using AI for their own stuff. They, there was the whole like controversy with them doing it for the Thanksgiving images last year. They used it for the original like Fantastic Four announcement posters when they were first like teasing the film. So there's been multiple times where Disney's got, like, they deny it, but it's clearly like
you
AI.
You can't deny
right?
that
There's
extra
like,
hand.
There's some tells that make it that's AI, right? So I think as AI gets better, obviously it's going to be a little bit more seamless, but there are instances where I still struggle. I'll give you an example. At the Sphere in Las Vegas, the big release this month is that they remade the Wizard of Oz film for the Sphere specifically. And so they took the original film and now it wraps in the Sphere, and it's like like this whole 4D experience where when the tornado's happening, stuff is getting thrown at you. Like, there's all sorts of elements to enhance the viewing of this film. And there was some like samples that came out of like what they had done, where they said they extended the films for this audience, and they showed a screen capture of what the film was. It was like Dorothy and Auntie M like in the bed or the chair or something like that. And then they showed the extended version that wrapped into the Sphere itself, where the uncle was by the door. And so they extended the frame of the actual house. They had walls, they had furniture, they had a roof. The uncle was now standing there. And they said, oh yeah, we achieved all this with AI. So it's not the actors. It wasn't that it existed and they recropped it like they have when they remaster these things. It was all AI generated. As a matter of fact, in some of the scenes where I think they're going to the Emerald City or something like that, they used AI to supposedly enhance it. And it looks like horrible AI slop because it's these giant screens of like muddy looking images and graphics of that were hand painted as part of the film, right? So those are the instances where I think I want to say where their heart was in the right place, but it's all a money grab, right? It's not
right.
really
They
about
put David
Yeah.
Zaslav and some other guy in it.
Yeah, so it's not like that they're doing it because it's the love of the film that they have for it. It was a money grab. It was basically what it was.
We own the Wizard of Oz. We better do something with it.
Yeah,
Right.
they are celebrating an anniversary, so I guess I don't know how to feel about it. Like I don't like that they took some of the existing elements and then just kind of muddied it up because of the AI, and now it's no longer the film. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's gonna happen the way that it happened at Dragon Con though. Like, I don't think we're going to see in films and TV this, like, immediate squashing of it and saying, like, we're not going to air anything that's got AI. Like,
No, they want to be the ones to use the AI. They don't want
Exactly.
anybody else to use the AI.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
yeah. You know, I saw the, there's multiple creators, like tech creators, that were talking about how on YouTube itself, if you upload a video like the ones that we upload for the podcast, it's seemingly fine, right? It renders it, it does whatever it has to do, and it looks like the video. But for some odd reason, they started noticing this trend where anytime they uploaded a YouTube short, that it had this like this creaminess look to it that looked like it was AI generated, and it had those like swishes of like, you know, when it's like moving from scene to scene, and it was their video. And so the way that they caught it originally was somebody saw someone's video, like another creator that they knew, and they said, did somebody steal their video and repost it as AI? They noticed that it was their account. So they went and looked at other shorts, and they noticed that it had the same trend, and they said, hey, what filter are you using when you upload these? Because they look like they're AI generated. They said, I'm not using any filter. And then they looked at other big creators, and they noticed that the trend was happening with all of their YouTube shorts as well. And I didn't really look too much more into it, but I started to wonder, like a day or so after I was back on TikTok, and I saw some like AI generated videos. I saw like a bunch of squirrels on Cosmic Rewind, like dancing to Gloria Estefan or something. And I started to wonder, like, is YouTube doing that to the shorts? One, because that short form content is like TikTok, it's like Instagram Reels, you know, it's the competitor basically. It's where they want people's eyeballs. With all the stuff happening with TikTok, is that kind of how they're bringing like people over? But is taking these big creators and giving it that look, almost like conditioning people to start just being okay with AI videos. Like they're using real videos to condition you visually to just accept that there's going to be videos that look like that going forward, and you won't know if it's AI or not. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
like
They're trying to make fetch happen.
they are trying to make.
Well, it's just like
That's
if you are trying to like, I want to try and like coffee, so you have to like drink a bunch of coffee and like figure out ways to like make yourself like coffee. This is the same kind of idea. Like, I'm gonna like pound you with this, you know, a bunch and over and over and over again, and then you'll just be desensitized to it, and you're like, this is normal.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
And I don't like coffee either.
Because it does. Oh, sir, we are very different there.
Yes, I have the miracle elixir of Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
True.
So yeah, I know that companies are going in that direction. I do hope that Disney doesn't. I know that there's other companies that want to just start animating and dropping cartoons and stuff like that, additional content on streaming services and stuff. I really hope Disney doesn't do that. You know, Disney's legacy was built on animation. Like, why would they tarnish that reputation? Yeah, like, why would you tarnish that and use AI garbage? Not that they're not doing it now. And for those listening, don't go and quote like, well, Podketeers said that's what. No, I'm saying that I hope they don't do that. They have used what looks like AI techniques in the past, and we've talked about it. I still think that if you're training AI in your own style, then this kind of goes to what Mel said earlier, that it's not something we see all the time, but I do think that if you're training AI with your own art to, you know, do random posts or something like that, not to take over somebody's job, but to help supplement something that you needed, like if you need something like next day or alterations to something and you need them quickly, I think that's a good use for it. I don't think it's a replacement, and I think that's the argument that most people have. Like, you can use it to supplement, you cannot really use it to replace.
It's a tool. AI is a tool and should be used as such. I work at a college, and it's been a big topic of discussion amongst the professors and everything. I mean, I work in a department where you can't really have AI cut a piece of wood for you yet, so I got a job security in that part of it anyway. But you know, people writing papers and all this stuff, they're trying to figure out ways to either discourage students from using AI or figure out a way to work it in where they still are getting their own ideas across and doing the thing still while working with AI. It's a whole complicated thing, and there's a bunch of professors that are pro AI and a bunch of them that are anti AI, and it's like the technology professors seem to be pro AI, and then like the literature and English and history professors are anti AI, and it's you know, and you know, those lines are muddied and all that stuff. Everybody has their own personal opinion, but it's just making everything more and more complicated, especially when it gets integrated into the software that you use on a daily basis without you can't turn it off.
That's what I don't like, when they start integrating it like that. I do believe that in certain cases, especially for students, I think AI is a good tool. I think that, you know, the way that when growing up, I had to go to the library and look through a card catalog for books and stuff, and like go through the book and find the copy that I needed and stuff, just to have a citation for something, right? Mm-hmm. AI can help you parse through that data. It's got, you know, the ability to look through a bunch of stuff. I think it should be used sparingly, because there are environmental implications to just using it randomly. So I think a well thought out way to use it so that you can get everything you need in one shot versus 20 times that you use it, I think obviously is a little bit better, especially with the way that a lot of physical media is ceasing to exist. I think being able to like scrub through a bunch of stuff to get the things that you need can be a good way to supplement what you're doing. I don't agree with them using it as like, here, write this paper on this and this and this for me, and then like 30 seconds later, boom, they got what they need, right?
Exactly.
So like it or not, I think it's here to stay. I think just the regulation of it, and I have to commend Dragon Con, and I have to commend GalaxyCon, was it? The other entity? Because it takes a lot to stand up to stuff like this, right? Especially when we're in an era where everything has AI. It's being integrated into everything we do, all the apps that we use and stuff like that. And it takes some bravery to stand up to it and be like, nah, we're not going to deal with this garbage. It's nope, we're done with this. So artists, if you are part of any of those conventions, it's time to rejoice. Because that's
Right.
it was when Mel sent that announcement to us. I remember thinking like, "Whoa, somebody did something about it. That's crazy." So it was fantastic. Let's see. You know what? We're a little deep into the podcast right now, so how about we take a short break? We thank a very special group of listeners and viewers known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. On that page, you'll find a list of some of our top contributors, a little information about what the FGP Squad is all about, a link to our Patreon. But in short, being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks, like access to exclusive discount codes for Podketeers gear, a special section of Discord. You get access to our happy hour calls when we get a chance to do those. You get random stuff sent to you, like I'll 3D print a bunch of stuff, and I got nowhere to put it, so I'll just randomly send it out to people. You'll get all sorts of stuff, including our gratitude. So again, if you're interested, podketeers.com/FGP is where you want to go for more information. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. Also, podketeers.com/links is where you want to go for easy access to all of our most commonly asked for links, including our latest episode, the Quizneyland playlist. Quizneyland, of course, celebrating 100 episodes. Bam. You'll also find a link to the FGP Squad on the links page. You'll find a link to our Discord. We'd love to have you as part of our Discord community. You'll find links to any fundraisers that we're running with our official charity team, Teamboat Willie. I talked about it a little bit when I was talking about the pumpkin. We're going to be doing some fundraisers. We're going to be raising money for cancer research and cures as part of the Walk for Hope event that's happening in about a month and a half, about a little less than 2 months. So more information, of course, on that soon. And you'll also find a link to our YouTube page on the links page. You'll find a link to our pal Larry's YouTube page, Goofy Guys Adventures. If you like park streams, make sure that you go follow Larry. He streams from the parks a couple of times a week, 2-3 times usually. And we love Larry, not just as a person, but he's one of the more respectful streamers. He's not annoying you on the attractions, and he's like really good with the cast members. He's super cool. Make sure that you follow him and say hi. If you're in the chat, drop in, say hi to him. And of course, you'll find a link on the links page to our Armchair Imagineering playlist as well. So set a bookmark, make a little shortcut, set the icon over on your phone so that way you can easily access it whenever you want to access any of those links or have any questions about stuff that we're doing. And that's it. It's time to jump back into the podcast. Ta-da!
Titanic.
It sounds like Peter Griffin.
Right. That was what I was going for.
Andrew,
What'd I do?
you went to the park.
Sure did.
Oogie Boogie Bash.
I did go to Oogie Boogie Bash. And
how was your experience?
It's been
1 week since you looked at me. Oh, sorry.
it's been about 6 days since I went to Oogie Boogie Bash. We did not go last year to Oogie Boogie Bash. We went the year before, so I'll be comparing, somewhat to 2 years ago. Each year, it does seem to feel like it gets a little busier. I don't know if they're just selling more tickets to it or whatever. But it seemed a little busier. One of my theories, I guess, as to why is they didn't do World of Color this time. There's no Halloween World of Color, so that just means there's more people out in the streets, as you may say, filling up all those lines. We were able to go to all of the treat trails, but we're, getting pushed through pretty quick. They would be long, but then when you got to the character, it's like move along. They did have, for some of the characters, they had like a separate spot, like the line when it went past them split into two, so there's a line where you could just stand and hang out, and then a line where you could go past. So that was good. Yeah, I don't know. It feels each year it does feel like it gets busier, and I'm not able to do as many things. I still had a good time, but you pay $130 whatever dollars, and I got a big bag of candy, so I'm not complaining there.
So I was going to ask you, did you get $280 worth of candy?
No, I probably got, I don't know, maybe $40 worth of candy if I bought it at the store. Maybe a little more.
Okay.
But, the stuff that is exclusive to Oogie Boogie Bash that, you're not able to get anywhere else is the parade,
Yeah.
and the character trails and the Villains Grove. There's other meet and greets and stuff. Like, I don't care about Kingdom Hearts, so I didn't go do the Kingdom Hearts thing. The Minnie and Daisy and Clarabelle Sanderson sisters are always long line, so I don't want to wait an hour in that line. It just feels like it's you get the party is from 6 to 11, so that's not very long to try and fit all this stuff in.
Yeah.
I think it should be like 6 to 1. But
I feel like the events used to go until
the
1.
the Disneyland, when it was in Disneyland, they were going to 1. I swear they were. They at least went to midnight. But maybe they started at 7. I don't know. But it just doesn't feel like it's enough time. Like, I would rather have less candy and more things to do. Like, because
it's about the experiences, right? That's really what you're paying for. It's because it's like the experiences.
Right. I'd rather just go, instead of like a treat trail, it's a like little mini show where it's like 5 minutes of Judge Doom doing a whatever, do. Everybody piles into a little area, does a little show, then you get kicked out, and then they hand you a candy bar at the end or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to like slinking through this long line, Judge Doom, you kind of walk past him a little bit, then you get up to him, you can stand there, whatever, talk to him, but it's always, they have to improv and do all this stuff, and it's, you never know what you're going to get, when you're going to get. The characters have to take breaks, etc., etc. Where, if these were like little shows instead, or like, Halloween Horror Nights does it with the mazes and stuff, instead of like a maze, if it was just like a little show. It's like, I just want a bunch of little shows. I would go on rides if they had Halloween overlay rides that were only exclusive to the party. Like, I don't think that's a feasible thing to do, but I think it would be cool if there was just like a Halloween Soarin' that they uploaded or something.
I mean, they
just
have
for
Monsters After Dark.
But that's
So
all.
They don't do it anymore, right?
They do Monsters After Dark.
Oh, they're still doing it? Okay.
And it runs on non-party nights too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize they were still doing it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it runs on non-party nights, but
it must not be the popular thing, because I don't see people posting about it anymore.
I guess, I don't know, but I really do enjoy the whole concept of it, and the Villains Grove thing is very cool, but they haven't changed it ever since they started. It's the same Villains Grove since the beginning, which is very cool, but I feel like they need to start switching that up a little bit.
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
Into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what so I had kind of a two-part question about this.
Sure.
Because we've gone, like, I think we went a total of like 3 times. We went a couple times when it was at Disneyland, and so we kind of got the experience, right?
Right.
And like, there's always like 1 or 2 villains that get swapped out, and then it's still a meet and greet. It's just a different villain, basically. But the layout, the area, I know that there's people that go every year, and they're just all about it, but every year it's also getting more and more expensive. And like you said, more and more crowded. Because I did see a lot of videos of it being fairly crowded, which I have a theory that I'll tell you about in a moment. Where do you think the line is for some people where they'll say, like, okay, unless X, Y, and Z changes, I'm not going to go back until, you know what I mean? Like, how much has to change in order for people to be happy with it? Or are they just happy with it because it's the exclusive 5 hours at DCA with candy?
I think it's kind of just like everybody's got their thing. And it's like some people are like, the Halloween party, that's my thing. Oogie Boogie Bash, that's my thing, and I do that thing, and I like the candy and the da 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 and the parade. It's my wife's favorite parade is the Not So Scary Halloween parade or whatever. No, that's not what it's called. Mickey's, whatever it's called. I don't know. Look at me, Mr. Trivia over here, not knowing the name of the parade.
It's late.
Boo to You parade. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's not Boo to You, is it? Boo to You is the. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna. Anyway, it's not important. It is not important. It's the parade. And so I think...
I should know this. We have a video of it on the YouTube channel.
I think as long... I know the song. I can sing the whole song to you. It's Halloween, everybody. Yeah. But I think as long as some of those, like, stalwart, like, institutions are still there, the parade is still there, the Headless Horseman is still there, the candy is still there, like, people are going to continue to go.
Yeah.
Even if they're upset. I think if it starts getting to be like, I paid $200 and got, 6 mini candy bars and stuff, then maybe people will reconsider going.
Because that's really, I think, where the point of my question goes towards. Because, like you said, everybody's got their thing, right? I'm not asking the question because I'm trying to, like, yuck anybody's yum about this.
Right.
Like, I know some people really like the events. They like the, after dark events, the ones at Disneyland and stuff like that, and that's great. But again, they're getting more expensive as the years progress, and stuff is not changing. As a matter of fact, it feels like they're taking stuff away, because now you said they didn't have World of Color, which was part of it before. And so, like, I wonder where the balance is for some people. Like, we've always kind of talked about how Disney will just continue to do this and take stuff away because people will still buy it, right? Like, they're not going to stop going. They're still going to do what they want to do. And, like, where's the line? Like, I think I know I have a line. I'm not going to spend $250 on a ticket per person. Family of 4 is now $1,000 for Oogie Boogie Bash, and you're getting $40 worth of candy from Costco, right? So I get the whole experience thing, but when it's so crowded and you're only getting to meet and greet 1 or 2 characters because you spent most of the 5 hours in a line somewhere,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, that's where I think it begins to lose some of the value for me. And then what I was gonna say as far as the crowds, I wonder if part of why it felt like there was so much more is as you get closer to Halloween, the tickets become more expensive. And so they launch really early, and this is one of the earlier dates. So I wonder if it's more crowded because more people are trying to save money by going early before Halloween versus super close and having to pay more for the event.
I would understand that, but every single one of them sells out anyway, so I don't think that it's any more. And I have gone basically the first weekend. Every time I've gone, we've done the same thing. It's like, it's cheaper, but also Labor Day weekend is when, we have an extra day off, so we can use Monday as a travel day when the party's on a Sunday night. So, for us, we've gone basically the same time slot every time, and it even year over year it feels like it's getting busier.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think there needs to be just a few investments in stuff, switching out the stuff in Villain's Grove. Not even everything, just a few things, because it's the same every year, and it's very cool. And if you haven't seen it before, you gotta go see it because it's super cool. But for the people that come back year after year, I still like seeing it, but I would like better to see something different of the same, along the same lines, but hey, a different theme, because if you don't know, you go through like different, like, just, it's the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, and then they have a bunch of lights and projections and fog and stuff going on themed to different villains. So there's I think like a hunchback section. There's like a section with like stained glass. There's like a Scar section, Alice, creepy like woods. There's a I can't even remember. There's like a, is it the Wisps from Brave or something? There's like some other stuff that's like, I can't even remember all the things, but it's, there's cool stuff. And then, but I'd like to see different villains like they do with the treat trails. And then my other I was talking to a lady while we were waiting for the parade, and it would be really cool if DCA had a spot, even if it's in the World of Color thing, and they put it on a barge, and it's a stage out in the water, and they do that Sanderson Sisters show out in the water, or they do some sort of something. I don't care who it is, if it's it's Oogie Boogie tap dancing or whatever it is.
That'd be fun.
Like something to still like eat people up, but it's not too long, so you can do like 6 of them a night. Where it's like World of Color, it's like a whole to do, and it's 25 minutes long, and people are camping out to see that. But if there's a bunch of small shows around, or like there's a 10-minute show in the Hyperion, there's a 10-minute World of Color show or something in the lagoon over there, they set up a temporary stage, and then there was a stage for a little while over in Grizzly Peak. Mini Fly Girls Charter Airlines just put a little thing there, and put like the Cadaver Dans up there or something, just like having little entertainment things throughout the lands that aren't just the treat trails. I think is going to really up the guest experience. Yeah.
Right.
Login
It'd
user.
be really cool if they had like, how they had the citizens of Buena Vista Street, if they had them like roaming around telling ghost stories.
They do that in Disney World. I'm pretty sure they have like on Main Street, they just have like spooky guys, spooky Main Street citizens or whatever in Magic Kingdom.
Or they could
like,
have them dress
element.
up and just be the monster citizens of Main Street.
It was like
for the
Frankenstein.
evening. Yeah, like something. Even if it's like a child, like, you know what I mean, like a plastic mask, or like some kind of like,
just like themed to like this is the character's wearing a Halloween costume.
Exactly, just to make it look like it's part of the theme or something. Not
right,
just
and then they wander
them in,
around and whatever. Yeah,
give you candy or something.
And the thing too, they have like this projection show. I'll put quotes on that on the Carthay Circle Theater, but it's like nothing happens. It's just music kind of goes like blank, 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 and the skeleton moves around and some lightning happens and whatever. Like, it's fine, but it's 5 minutes and there's no like song or anything. It's just kind of like weird stuff that happens. Whereas like if they did that every 20 minutes, but it had a little ditty and it had characters that people knew or whatever, or there's some sort of storyline, I think that would, it's just like, it feels like they're not up to snuff on their own stuff.
Man, they're missing out on so much. I know we've talked about in previous years how it would be great if they did the mazes that they do in like the other parks across the world, like the my favorite maze that I've seen has always been like the Mad Hatter maze.
Right.
And they have all those. I guess they're not going to have it anymore because now Avatar, whatever. Anyway, they are missing an opportunity because last year or 2 years ago we got Zombie Cap.
That was
right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago now.
It's
but
like
there was never
that was
anything else because it was part of the Zombies show
Right.
connection on Disney Plus. But I mean, it's a perfect character.
Just
to
have
bring
them out
for
all the
something
time.
Like,
Like, it's cool.
Yeah. Or like you have like something that happens in Avengers Campus where like, let's say there's a show, right? It's a
Sure.
You have I don't know, Dormammu or somebody up on
Jack.
whoever, right? And he
The werewolf,
curses
yeah.
Avengers Campus, and all these characters, Cap and Doctor Strange and Wanda, and all these characters that we've seen throughout Avengers Campus that we know costumes exist for. I mean, sorry, like they exist as characters. Like they can all be zombified, and they can
Right.
all come out as part of this curse. And now there's this additional show, or you interact and take pictures with like the zombie versions of these characters. You want to talk about a people eater? There's another meet and greet that they can add, and it's not much
Absolutely.
more effort,
Right.
right? So
It just doesn't make sense. The other thing that I thought was kind of bizarre is Hollywoodland was basically where 75% of the treat trails were. I thought it was really funny. So there was Ernesto de la Cruz was in the Hyperion line area.
Right.
They moved Judge Doom over in front of the stage 15 or whatever where Flynn's Arcade was. So he's over there where that's where the Sanderson sister meet and greet was before. They put Judge Doom over there. Hades is at the stage in the back lot there, the outdoor one. And then Oogie Boogie's inside the Animation Academy as he's always been, and then Doofenshmirtz was inside the Disney theater, the one where they do the Mickey Mouse show in there.
interesting.
So all of those were in one land. Then you have Sid in Pixar Pier, you have Yokai in San Francisco, and you have what's the one I'm missing? Oh, you have Maleficent in Grizzly Peak, and Syndrome. Syndrome in Paradise Pier. I'm sorry, Maleficent and Grizzly Peak. And I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, and Agatha in Avengers Campus.
See, Agatha can place the curse over Avengers Campus. Like she's got. It's right there. Come on, man.
And it's funny where they had Madame Mim last year was just they put the Kingdom Hearts meet and greet in there instead.
Oh, interesting.
Inside that weird little thing with the big wooden door gate things. So yes, it was interesting. I had a good time, but I just can't help but feeling like it's going to get worse from here if they don't start investing in it a little more. Well, who knows?
Well,
Probably go in 2 years.
I was gonna ask, knowing all of that, do you think you'll be back next year, a couple years from now?
Well, so we've kind of decided that we would go to Oogie Boogie Bash on a non D23 Expo year.
Okay.
And so next year would be the D20. Well, yeah, next year would be the D23 Expo. They kind of fall around the same season.
Yeah, they do.
So seems to be a nice thing to just kind of flip flop them.
Gotcha. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
And it does
we'll
give
see.
you a little bit of a break, so you haven't seen it in a bit. You'll
Exactly.
even if you have seen it, you'll see it again, and it'll feel familiar. You
Right,
get all
yeah.
all the Halloween feels again. So cool. All right. Well, I have one more thing that I wanted to just kind of go over because Destination D23 happened over on the East Coast. And there were some announcements that, speaking of D23, they announced the dates for D23 there. It's going to be happening here in Anaheim again, August 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Got my not my tickets. Got my hotel already.
Nice. I'm ready. I think I'll be able to get through this one. I did decent on this last one. I still had some, I still had to recuperate a little bit. I still spent the week trying to recoup from it, but I did way better than I thought I was going to. So I think this next one, it'll just be a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to it. Mel, are you going to this one?
3 for 3.
Yes. Yes.
I am going.
Nice. We're going to do, I'll just say it right now. I'm going to start planning the new sticker sheet because we had an exclusive D23 one that had our little Funkos and stuff like that. And I had kind of joked about it when I designed that one, that every time we went to D23, I wanted to have a new exclusive only at D23 sticker sheet. I'm going to go with that. I kind of like that. So I'm going to start thinking about what we want to put on the new one. Might be variations of it, but it'll be that year's version of the sticker sheet. So more on that, I guess, in the months to come.
Yeah.
But there were some good announcements, bad announcements, fun announcements. There was a lot of concept art revealed for Villains Land. They kind of showed what looked like a Pinterest board of ideas. And kind of a color palette. There wasn't a lot more about that. Aside from that, I guess they're making some progress with it. They talked about how the world of Frozen is officially confirmed to be opening spring of 2026, which is going to coincide with the renaming of Walt Disney Studios in that park to Disney Adventure World. Let's see, Cinderella's Castle over at Walt Disney World is going to get repainted with the original colors that it was painted with, which I kind of liked. I like the pastel-y colors that it had before. I like the look of it. Mel, I think this one's a good one that you're going to enjoy. It looks like the Tron coaster over at Walt Disney World is going to be getting a red overlay, and they're going to be doing a soundtrack with 9 Inch Nails to celebrate the release of Tron Ares. So it's great for Walt Disney World.
It is.
Sucks for us. But, I figured you would appreciate it, Let's see. There's a new documentary that Leslie Iwerks is going to be releasing over on Disney Plus early next year. It's called Disneyland Handcrafted. It's about the creation of Disneyland itself. Actually, I think it's later this year that it's releasing, not early next year. I think it's later this year.
Even better.
Yeah. She did, if you're not familiar, Leslie Iwerks has a book and did the Imagineering story. And it's such a great... the book is phenomenal. They couldn't get everything in the actual video portion. I have it here. It's massive. Oh, I cannot twist like this. What? Wrong book.
Yeah, please don't break
I
yourself.
was like, you want me to get mine?
Look at how big this book is.
It's a big old book.
Massive. And it's a great book to have. I don't know if you guys do this, but I don't like the heft of a lot of these, so when I buy this one, I usually buy the ebook as well on Amazon, and so I read it on my phone or on the tablet. That way I can also not destroy the spine. I hate destroying the spines of my books. I know that there's people that are arguing, but it's a book. You're supposed to read the book.
You know what? You spent your money. You do what you want.
Reading's hard.
It is, but I like to preserve the books as well. That's why, unless it's a book that I can't get in ebook format, then yes, I will read the actual version, the actual physical book. But anyway, story for another day, I guess.
It does say this winter, so whatever that means. The
probably November, December then.
Yeah, it could be friggin' February. We don't know.
That's true.
That's still winter.
That's true. We got some concept art for the Napa Rose renovation that's going to be happening here at the Disneyland Resort. We have a new episode of We Call It Imagineering coming this week, as a matter of fact, the week this episode drops. There were at the Destination D23 there was a video that popped up that we thought was super cool. I don't know what else is going to come of it at this point, but there was a face character. Mel, do you want to talk about this? Because you were the one that sent us this video.
Oh, I thought you would, because you love all of this.
I want to, but, since you sent it, I mean,
Well, we got to see a face character for the first time of Mary Oceaner from the SEA. And she was awesome in the little clip that we got to see.
Yeah.
I loved that she was just like how she just put her leg on the table or the chair or whatever it was, and she was just being herself and being chill and just it was awesome. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
So you had to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see more of that happen with the characters, like even if it's like, see, that's what they should do. If they had like an SEA night, I would really strongly have to consider going to something like that at Disneyland. Because if they had the characters out and about and they somehow convinced like Rhodey and Tony to come like play their characters, like
So-
that would be kind of awesome.
You wait in line for the whole 5 hours to.
I
You know
would stand
what?
in line for that.
Let's say they go on there, and let's say Danny Elfman, because he is one of the members.
Technically,
if he would
yeah.
be there, I would pay
Maestro something.
Yeah,
money. Yep.
yeah.
I'm
I
with
agree
you,
with
Heyzen.
you. Listen, I don't like lines anymore. I've been very clear about that. I'm not about the lines, which is part of what makes going to the park so difficult now, that they just seem more crowded, and standing in line is not something that I can easily do for long periods of time. And this kind of feels like maybe a mobility scooter is the way to get around for this, because if they did SEA night in the parks, I would have to strongly consider going.
Please deck it out like a boat. Like a
Yeah.
ship.
Oh my
Something.
goodness. That
A raft.
I'm so for it. So yeah, there was that. There was Hong Kong is going to be getting their own Villains theme Halloween party this year. It looks like. Oh, by the way, I forgot her name. She sings the. Oh my goodness! It's the song from Anastasia, the popular one. It doesn't matter. The point is, remember when the Fox acquisition happened and we were like, oh my god, does that make Anastasia a Disney princess, like officially, because now Disney owns Anastasia? At D23 they sang the song from the film, like the popular one where they're like doing, like, you know what I mean? So at the Destination D23, so Anastasia is now canon to the Disney lore because of this convention, this expo, whatever you want to call it. So we called it. She's official. I'm gonna take credit for it. I'm just gonna say it. We're gonna take credit for that one because we talked about this years ago after the Fox acquisition. So, haha. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see. Had some other bullet points here. So let's talk about like one of the big pieces of news that came from all of this, and that is of course that Disneyland changed their logo to look like the Cracker Barrel logo, and then they instantly changed it back like 30 seconds later. Oh, sorry, it wasn't the Disneyland logo. It was the D23 logo. They changed it to the style of Cracker Barrel, and everybody laughed, and they changed it back. No, it was the announcement that the Carousel of Progress is going to be getting some updates. They're going to be updating the scenes. We're going to be seeing what the family has now been up to all these years later. They're going to be changing a little bit of that. But they're adding a Walt animatronic to the Carousel of Progress.
Fancy that.
And yeah, and they're adding, it looks like from the concept art that I've seen, it looks like the Wonderful World of Disney episode where he was introducing Epcot. And so it looks like a lot of the concept art and a lot of what this show is going to be is introducing Epcot, and it's kind of meta, I think, the way that they're going to execute it. But, excuse me, they're adding Walt to the Carousel of Progress.
Right.
Your thoughts on this announcement?
We don't get fun. No.
We have it.
We have it, we do, but it's so funny because we have a building that does the same thing as the Carousel of Progress.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
They do have the I guess you would say the wiring for an animatronic in there. So
I mean, at this point,
there's
the building is I think all the mechanisms have been pulled out of that building, from what I've been rumored anyway. This is the least surprising thing in the world to me. If they're gonna spend a lot of money on a Walt Disney animatronic, they're gonna put it in more than one place. That's why we got 2 Tiana Bayou Adventures. That's why we got 2 Tron coasters. It's like they're gonna build it. They're gonna build 2 of them. They're gonna split that R&D cost over multiple projects to make it, the books balanced or whatever.
And learn from these mistakes so they don't make them over there.
Right. My guess is that it'll be like the introduction. So I don't know. I didn't listen to the announcements or anything. I don't know if they said specifically, but the Carousel of Progress, you like go in, and then there's like you're looking at what looks like a stage and just curtains and whatever, and then you turn. The theater rotates to see the next scene. So I'm assuming that instead of the curtain there and you going, the curtain opens up and Walt's there, and then we get the rest of the scenes. I hope they're not going to, remove a scene to add this Walt animatronic in.
Yeah, I'm not clear on how it's going to
Right.
be executed. I saw, of course, the announcement and some of the concept art that was posted about it. So I
That's
guess
the one where he's wearing like the blue sweater, right?
It is the one with the blue sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very Mr. Rogers in the concept art. So, but I don't know. I feel like there's a part of me that feels kind of like what Mel said right now, that there comes, like, I get the whole like splitting the R&D and having stuff for the parks, but we went from Walt saying he never wanted an animatronic of himself to now having 2 across a couple of parks. Like, is he going to be in other parks around the world at some point? Like, what's going to make coming here special versus over there? Like, if you're duplicating so many of the items.
Well, that's a
right?
thing I agree with. Is each park, set of parks should have a reason for you to want to go, instead of being like a copy of each other. Now, I think, this is it's not the same thing. There is a Walt animatronic, but he's going to be saying different stuff, and it's going to be a different room in a different location. If they had just plopped down this same exact thing into Carousel of Progress, then I think I would be a little more upset. But because they're taking this Walt animatronic that they have and whatever, blah, 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 but they're doing a different show with it. It is its own thing that you can go see. It's still seeing a Walt Disney animatronic, but he will be in different clothes and sitting on a different desk and playing different bad audio recordings from a different thing instead of the ones that we got. It's different. Yeah, he'll have bracelet on. Yeah, he won't have the he won't have the suit. He'll have, he'll have tour guide Walt Disney, or Jungle Walt Disney. We'll put him on the Jungle Cruise.
Tell me again where you stand on the Hatbox Ghost.
It's I understand. Here's the thing. I don't get so heated, because it's like, I have it, so what should I be upset that somebody else has it? Like
I'm not. It really does feel like there's gonna come a point where it loses how special it is if you have it in multiple locations, right? I get it. Disney World is the tourist destination, but then it's no longer the special Walt animatronic because now another one exists.
But they don't care about that. That's the thing. We do. They don't. And I don't know. They care about money. Well, here's the thing. The company cares about money. I believe the Imagineers and different people care about legacy and things like that, and stuff that the company used to think about. And now with the current leadership and how things are going, it's the almighty dollar, which I mean, the company has always been, beholden to money. That's just how companies work. But it's I don't know.
People
times
are
they are
a
changing
portion of it. I think that's what it is.
And I do think too that things don't necessarily have to, with the internet, you don't have to we got to put Pirates of the Caribbean here, we got to put Pirates of the Caribbean there, because how is anybody going to see Pirates of the Caribbean? That's in the 70s, when they opened the park without Pirates of the Caribbean, everybody's freaking out. Right. But now it's just Google it or whatever. It's not a big deal. But do I wish that we were the only Walt animatronic that was a thing? Yeah. Do I wish the Walt animatronic was better? Yeah. Do I think the Walt animatronic looks good in person? Yeah. I did get a chance to see it, and it's surprisingly convincing with my bad prescription and sitting in the back.
How far back were you sitting?
Middle of the thing. So there's the
front and center, or off to the side.
Front and center. Okay. Well, center of the house. But there's a middle aisle that runs all the way across. Right. We were right in that aisle.
Okay. Because I have heard more and more people say what you're saying, that the photos, the up because close of the photos, lighting, the up close photos because of the lighting really mess with what he looks like. But when you see it live, and because the lighting isn't the sensors in the cameras aren't,
people aren't turning up a bunch of contrast and Lightroom,
so
and
it's seen the way it's meant to be seen. Right. And so that it does look a lot better, that it pulls off the illusion of it being Walt.
That it moves, that how it moves is so crazy.
Really?
I'll say, it's just it's so smooth, and it some of the points, I was thoroughly convinced that was a person moving their arm. Wow. There's a couple of points where it looked very convincing, and the videos, it's hard to tell. And we say this on every other thing that we do, and it's we ride this ride, but it's, or we watch a video of a ride, but we're waiting to pass judgment until we see it in person.
Yeah.
And so
I can't imagine, because I could tell you that in all of the videos that I've seen posted, it already looks super smooth.
Yeah.
As far as the movements, that was one of my favorite things about the animatronic itself, that the movements were so fluid compared to everything else we've ever seen released.
Yeah.
So.
I think just in the room with your own eyes, it's the clothes are moving naturally. It just, everything felt, right. And the face wasn't perfect, but it wasn't distracting like it is in the photos. That's I think the biggest thing is I didn't think. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you think that in the photos it's more distracting and we can pick up the fact that it's so off because we're looking at a static image, versus you're watching him move and you're listening to his voice, with the speech that they put for him? Do you think that when you see it all wrapped together, that's part of the illusion?
I think so. I mean, that's the thing. This was designed to play in a very specific set of circumstances, and when you take some of those circumstances out of the the equation, then things start to look weird. I mean, that's just like you turn the lights on in the Haunted Mansion and stuff looks bad. And I'm like, yeah, I understand stuff looks bad because it's, they didn't finish that back part because nobody could see it in the dark or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, or it's kind of just like they take all these old movies or TV shows and they upscale them or, to 4K, and you're seeing all these horrible paintings of backdrops and things and lines and stuff you never saw before because it wasn't intended to be seen that way.
Yeah.
And nobody thought it was going to be seen that way. So it's like you have to, just like any, I'll call this art. Any art has a context, and so if so you should be viewing it in its best case scenario to fully get the full picture of what's trying to go on. So I recommend seeing it, and I think it's really worth it. I think it's a real feat, and the face, it wasn't distracting. I mean, if I stared at it, I'm sure, I know what the pictures look like, and I can kind of see it. But with the whole thing, it really didn't pull away from anything, which I was happy to, because I took like 2 pictures because I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and watch this because I want to watch. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I don't want to just be in my phone the whole time because then that's going to ruin it. So I consciously, I was like, I'm here, click one picture of Walt, put it in my pocket, and then watch the show. And cool. It was the worst part about it was there was a video beforehand that was narrated by Bob Iger.
Well, I mean, I know that I sound really sour about Disney World getting a Walt animatronic, and I'm sticking to what I'm saying. Like,
that's fine.
I think that having multiple animatronics does kind of ruin how special it is to have. I get what you're saying, that he's going to be saying different things, different venue, like it's different, right? Am I happy? I kind of am, actually, because they're getting something that relates to Disneyland in a way that, like, Walt didn't, like, see Epcot through, or he didn't see, like, all of Disney World through, right? So, like, getting a piece of Walt on the East Coast, I think, is kind of special in its own right, but I still think that it ruins how special it was to have the Walt animatronic here as the only one to exist. So
yeah, the only thing I'll say on that, though, is the reason I think it is good is to make aware the younger generations of Walt Disney. Just be like, hey, this was a guy. Like, it's unless you get
like the name of the company, there's
right.
actually a
If,
face attached.
There's us lunatics who, are really, in the trenches with all this Disney information and know, all the stuff about Walt Disney. But the farther the company gets away from, Walt being in charge, the less his, his
essence.
His essence are, his like stamp on things, his, what he intended the company to be, we get farther and farther away from. And so, even just having a little bit of stuff, it's, putting a face to the name Walt Disney, as opposed to just like, Walt Disney World or Disney or whatever. Like, this all started because of this guy. Right. And so at least kind of giving people that may not be aware of who Walt Disney is a little bit of context, even if it's like maybe they just think he's a made-up character. Like, yes, Disney the company, and then they made up their mascot, Walt Disney. Like, he's
like Captain Crunch.
A Cap'n Crunch. Thank you very much. Horatio Magellan Crunch.
I am going to use what you're saying as the positive note to spin this on.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to like discount your feelings, because I completely agree with you that it would be fantastic to have the Walt just be at Disneyland, like Walt Disney's Disneyland. That's what it's called. But the solace that I take in it is that, one, what I just said, and two, that at least it's different enough that it's not, just a copy paste of the thing. Yeah. I would love it to be, but we're getting it.
I'm gonna use that as the positive spin. I think I'm gonna use that as my new starting point for this Walt-animatronic at Disney World, because everything that you said I agree with. I think there are a lot of people that just see the Walt Disney Company as this company that just got a name from somewhere, and they don't know that Walt Disney was an actual person. So I am going to choose to use that to feel better about the whole thing. And then that's just where I'm going to leave it.
All right.
So I think that's a good place to end the episode.
Perfect. Oh, I got to say, I'm wearing this. I got to tell you about my shirt.
Oh, what's your shirt?
I'm wearing a DJ Rex shirt today. It's blue. There you go. It's from the opening of Galaxy's Edge. Anyway.
Nice.
I have to tell everybody that's listening what shirt I'm wearing.
That's
We're going to have to start keeping a wiki page or something of all your shirts.
Yeah. Fandom.podketeers.com.
That's right. All of Andrew's shirts. All right. That's it. That's going to wrap it up. Remember, go check out Quizneyland episode 100. It's up on all the podcast apps. Celebrate with us, and we have the Megasode coming up in a couple of months, so take a listen for that. And if you have any thoughts on anything that we talked about in this episode, how do you feel about the Walt-animatronic going over to Disney World as well? Any of the announcements coming from Destination D23, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and your thoughts on all the new AI revelations, especially if you're an artist. We'd love to know how you feel about some of these cons and entities actually standing up to the use of AI and forbidding it as part of their events. So that's it. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.